It was in the quiet period between Christmas and New Year, and we were at a pub, and Pete gave me a great proposition.
Pete and his family were over from Singapore staying with us here in London.
I was out for a quiet morning run with Rob.
It was a lovely winter's morning, and then suddenly, boom, Dan dropped the bombshell.
And my initial reaction was, even by Pete's standards, this is a little crazy.
My plan is for the 5 of us to run 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days.
Yeah, I guess relatively, I'm a pretty good runner. I've done loads of marathons. I've done London,
Boston,
Sydney Marathon 4 times,
Chicago Marathon, Berlin Marathon,
Melbourne Marathon, Canberra Marathon, Fitzroy Falls Marathon,
Paris,
Prague Marathon,
the New York Marathon,
New York.
I've done that.
Ironman France,
Western Sydney Marathon twice,
Berlin,
Gold Coast Marathon twice.
Less than 7.
All fun.
And none of them have been back to back.
How many marathons have I done? I don't really like running that much.
What's the best thing about running a marathon?
finishing.
Eating.
Running in general is my thinking time. I love it, and I love the training for marathons. And I love the feeling when you finish, and I love the beer after the race.
I'd like to say it's a feeling of achievement and accomplishment you get from completing a tough race, but really it's the eating.
It's really about taking yourself to the limit of what you can do.
Seeing what you're actually capable of.
It's the actual act of running, even though I don't like it very much, has allowed me to go and see some incredible places and meet some incredible people. So that's probably my favourite bit about running a marathon. But what I really like doing is the long-distance ultra style of events that see you doing marathons back-to-back over 4 or 5 or 6 days.
Queuing at the airport through customs to get on the plane, I think will absolutely drive me crazy. I hate queuing.
The fact that we're going to be running and travelling for 168 consecutive hours.
Possibly unshowered, probably unshowered.
There's so much that we don't control. We don't control the weather, we don't control the flight patterns. And the thing that I worry about is how do we adapt to that?
The logistics of this thing are an absolute nightmare.
I am worried about the training that it's going to take to get ready for this race.
The training's going to be hard.
Wind. I hate it. I hate it.
The pain. This is going to hurt a lot.
It's more the after running and before running comforts that I allow myself. Food.
Running is a great excuse to eat and drink whatever you want. So when it comes to eating junk, even while I'm running, I love that.
I run alone a lot. To liven things up, I like to try to get reactions out of other runners.
Drinking Coke, drinking Gatorade, One Above, eating power bars, goos.
I'm never really comfortable when I run.
Chocolates, I haven't mentioned that already. Jelly beans, snakes.
I'm a bit of a statistics geek. I always log my runs.
I love to wear compression gear afterwards.
My compression gear makes me recover well.
They look good too, so that's a bonus.
Probably listening to jazz. I mean, the boys are in for a real treat. That's 168 hours of my jazz back catalogue.
It's my secret shame, but 80s hair metal is what keeps me going.
Avril Lavigne or Carly Rae Jepsen get me going.
My wife thinks I'm crazy and doesn't understand how I keep coming up with these things, or more importantly, Pete keeps coming up with them.
So I have lots of ideas from time to time. Most of them my wife just looks at me and goes, okay,
Why?
I'd say they fall into two camps. The guys that want to run with us in their home continent.
It's met with confusion a lot.
And then they're the guys that, well, just think we're mad.
I have no idea.
Everyone else I talk to about it thinks I'm delusional that this is even possible.
And then she lets it percolate for a week or two. And if after a week or two it's still a good idea, then we go to that next level of saying, okay, how are you going to go about it doing it?
So it's going to be great to do it, just to prove everyone else wrong, I think.
Danger Mouse.
Flash Gordon.
On the off chance that my son, who is 2 years old at the moment, watches this 10 or 12 years from now, I have to say Spider-Man.
Speedy Gonzales. Is Speedy Gonzales a superhero? I should have actually thought about this before I talked.
But it's not about doing it just to chalk up 7 marathons. It's the adventure you can have in 7 different cities, on 7 different continents with your friends.
You can't get to these levels of deprivation without finding things very funny, and other people's hardships become very funny.
This is going to be, without doubt, the biggest adventure and physical achievement.
And it's something that we'll have with us for the rest of our lives.
Epic running adventure.
Teamwork, belief, pain.
Hardship, mateship, achievement.
Experience of a lifetime. Yeah, that's 3 words.
My happy place.
Continental Drift.
7 marathons on 7 continents,
7 days.
It's going to be awesome.